Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another pod of Born to Be a Star. I hope you know how much of a star you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time it is, whatever nation you're in. If you're in Canada, I'm hating on you, and I can't wait to get there because the goal for me is to move to Canada and enjoy my retirement, not here. So that's the goal, moving to Canada. Specifically like Toronto or Southern Toronto. I just really like the feel of it. I like the med for all thing. They figured out how to do it there, and I also like the just the freedom there. Like it's not so buried around this stupid political crap they do in the United States of America, and aren't we just tired of it? Like literally, can you figure out a way to give us monthly money? Like all the taxes that we pay and all the lies you tell the millennials about going to college and they're going to find a job. Yeah, my job doesn't pay me $75,000 a year, and the jobs that pay $75,000 a year don't equivocate to the stuff you have to do to earn that amount of money. Like let's stop playing. The amount you pay for teachers is ridiculous. Like we don't have livable jobs here, man. I'm good. Like, time to go. It's time to just go. Yeah. So the plan is for Canada at some point. I'm not sure what specific area in Canada, but that is the go-to plan for me. I don't know what your plan is. I'm considering Norway as well. Norway seems like a really cool place I'd like to live. I like the beach, but I'm okay with the cold. I think I might like that. But anyways, today I wanted us to talk about something that might sound a little weird or questionable. When it all goes to hell, I mean your life, a situation you're in, something you thought was going to go one way and it went completely the opposite side of that. I mean a situation where you assumed your life was going to be mapped out and planned and everything was going to happen one thing after another the way it was supposed to happen. Well, guess what? Here you are. It didn't happen that way, did it? Did it? That plan you had of doing this or doing that didn't happen, did it? The effort you put into it, the time, just all the time you invested into something for something to turn out one way, and it didn't turn out that way. It's okay. When it all goes to hell, press the button up. Guess what? You're still alive. You're not dead. You're just dealing with a bad situation. And just because something didn't go the way you wanted to or you planned does not mean that's the end of it. So you got a job and you decided you hated that job, so you wanted to find another one. Go get another dang job, man. So you didn't go get your education the way you should have gotten it when you were younger. So figure out a way to get it now. And don't tell me you can't go get your education because it costs too much money. I think we're all dealing with student loans together in this wonderful country of ours, or just everywhere, honestly. Hopefully they'll come to their senses and they'll just make it free so everybody can enjoy education together. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But things happen and situations present themselves differently. You have to have the ability to find a positivity in something that's negative, because the negativity wants to consume you and make you miserable. And when we think of the idea of what hell actually looks like, I don't actually think we have a mindset to concede what it actually looks like. It is the bottom of life, man. It's a place that you're going to, which is a punishment. It's not a good place to be. And you can lie and pretend like it doesn't exist. You want to be one of these people that want to say hell doesn't exist. Lucifer went somewhere, and it was there. I still kind of think he's here on Earth too, but that place, hell and purgatory, which is a complete nightmare of itself, it can't be pretty. It's gotta be dark and gloomy and just gross and just the smell of it. Just imagine the smell of death all the time forever and just a never-ending punishment. If that's what you're feeling like, if you're in a situation where you can't see any type of light or any type of getting out of something, open your eyes. It's just a day. Look at it in hindsight. Yes, something is difficult. There are many situations that can be very difficult and uncomfortable and just kind of questionable because you're wondering, how am I going to deal with this? This really sucks. How am I going to deal with this? This really sucks. Sometimes I get really irritated about politics, or I get irritated about money, or trying to buy a house, or the fact that I don't have kids yet, or the fact that sometimes it looks like everybody else is doing things perfectly, but it doesn't appear that I'm doing everything perfectly. So I start comparing myself to everybody and feeling like I'm in hell, just to realize I'm not. I'm living my life. And so what if it's not like by a book? And why does that matter, man? Why? Society and TV and social media, and I hate to say this, but even churches can't always help you out when you're feeling like that. Sometimes you need to just feel like that and get through it, okay? And you also need to recognize that everything isn't going to be beautiful and pretty and roses and spectacular and look like a Photoshop. Your life is not Photoshop. You can't Photoshop the hell. You can't Photoshop the bad. You know how you get through it? You get through it. You go through it. You experience it. If a situation is bad, you got to try to get out of it. You got to just try to pave your way through it to get to the other side of that. And yeah, it's going to suck. Suck. There's going to be days where you at the bottom of the bottom. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who is on your side. You feel really lonely. You don't feel like anybody can hear you. And you just feel like it's the end. It's not the end until your heart stops beating. And even then, that's not the end. That's only a new beginning to something we have no idea about. So let's not pretend or try to agonize over things that don't really matter. I keep talking about how life is just a snap of a finger. Like the snap of a finger. 1 second you're born, 1 second you're dying. How are you living in between the start and the end of that? If you're feeling like you're in hell, click that button on that elevator. Find the good in the bad. Figure out a way to find happiness in misery. Figure out a way to put yourself in a position where even if you don't necessarily have what you wanted at a certain point, that doesn't mean you can't get it. That doesn't mean it's not attainable. It just means you're going to have to maybe work a little harder, or maybe you'll have your kids at a later age in life, or maybe you started your career after you figured out what you hated to do, or maybe you want to go to school now because when you were younger you didn't want to. Or maybe you don't want to live in this state anymore. Maybe you want to move to another state. Maybe you want to move to another country. Maybe you want to get one of those cars that don't use gas. Maybe you want to change who you want to be with. Maybe you want to do anything. Change career paths. The idea that you can't just wake up and want to change your mind and you're in hell and you're stuck in it is an illusion. You're not stuck in anything. And if you feel like you're in a hell and you're in the bottom and the pits of the crappiest thing in the world, press the button up and get out of it. You know how you change that? You change that. You, not anybody else, you. If you don't want to feel that way, if you want to get out of it, if you want to live your life, then live your life. Don't explain anything to anybody. Don't have any remorse about nothing. Live your life and do you. And you know what? Their opinions, they could wait, okay? They could wait. It's important that you don't get caught up in your hell, forgetting that you're not dead. You're alive. Also, your hell can reflect on others that are around you. So be cognizant of that. Find a way to find the light and the beauty in the pain. Like I talked about last week. In hell, you might find heaven. Just press that button up. And then the bottom, there's only one way to the top. You have to climb out of it. And sure, that might not be easy with all the demons trying to pull you back down. But just kick them off, man. They're demons. Their intent is to steal your soul. That's the intent of the world. So if you're in hell, find a way to get out of it. And the only way you can find a way to get out of it is to push yourself, to tell yourself everything you need to hear every day. Even if you are at your lowest point, still tell yourself, I could do this. It's just Monday. And Friday is only 5 days away. We're dealing with a tough life here. We're losing family members. People we love are dying. We're not being able to do things we wanted to do. There's a constant death life thing, or situations happen where we don't understand them and we really don't have anyone to talk about or anyone that actually understands. And people always say they understand, but most of the time they don't understand. They're just saying it because they want you to feel some sort of a way. Yeah, man, it's rough. It sucks too, dude. There's no way to make it pretty. If you're in hell, press the button up and change your outfit from black to white and just get ready to find the light and the good, okay? It's difficult to do that. People always have said there's something wrong with me because I'm happy for no reason. You know why I'm happy for no reason? Because I woke up today and I'm in control of my happiness. No one else is. And so are you, for you. So know that. Know that. And also, that leads us into our next conversation. Who said you had to be a superhero, a Wonder Woman, or a Captain America alive? Who told you that? Who told you you gotta have everything figured out and you gotta know how to do everything perfectly? Because if you don't do everything perfectly, then you're not living your life right. Hey, guess what, man? Superwoman sometimes doesn't always end up in the sky correctly, and sometimes when she tries to put on her outfit, a hole might pop into it or a seam might bust. When she's eating pizza, she likes the cheese, man. Come on, like, no. I'm the first one to admit I love Marvel and DC, and I like comic books and superheroes and villains and all that fun stuff, and I kind of think life is like Gotham City. I'm not kidding. It is. That's where they got the entire idea from. Reality. But who said you had to be a superhero or a Wonder Woman? As a woman, why do you have to be able to do all things at once? Push a kid out and then take care of them and then still have a business and still have a job and still have gone to like 40 years of college and be a doctor. Like, why is that the perception of women? Women get the dirtiest, most horriblest things said to them. And it just kind of gets passed off as, they didn't really mean that. Last month was Women's History Month, and Tucker Carlson, who is a douchebag reporter on Fox News, had the audacity to insult women that work for the government, that have fought in wars, that are true legendary heroes for the United States of America. Now, he's a blundering fool on another foolish news station that nobody watches but a bunch of lunatics. And I'm not going to get into that. Honestly, who actually watches news besides your local news? Who's really looking at CNN and who's really looking at these things? Not a lot of people. If you look at the statistics and the numbers on it, they're losing viewers. Biden's boring. No one wants to listen to Biden say nothing. The only reason they did so well is because Trump's a lunatic. And now he's gone. So now they've got another boring Joe. Next, women get it wrong. They always get persecuted. They always get talked to disrespectfully. They always get treated like crap. And it happens to them on TV. It happens to them live. It's real. And you know what? Why is the idea I gotta be Wonder Woman? Why can't I want to dress up for her like Halloween? Why do I actually have to be a Wonder Woman with a superpower to live, to just breathe? Why do I have to do a million things? Why do you have to do a million things? Guess what? You don't. It's someone telling you that. Why are these people telling us what they want? And then they want to give you the idea that that's not what they're doing. No, that's exactly what they're doing. So guess what? All you people that want to tell us all what to do it yourself. If you want a superhero, then why don't you become a superhero and stop giving other people bad advice? Like, unless you're a psychologist or a sociologist, or unless you went to school to do it, shut up. Like, your opinion is your opinion. Like, you could really drive somebody up a wall, stressing people out for no reason, just because you want to say something to somebody. Who gave you the credibility to do that? No one. I'm sorry. Unless you're a psychologist talking to me in an office and you've got an esteemed business with clientele and you're recognized, you shouldn't be telling me about nothing. Sure, you can give me your opinion. I respect that. But if you're trying to actually give me some details about how to live my life and you are not what I just said, why should I listen to you? For what? You're not qualified to give me that. And we keep going back to everything is kind of a circle here. Misery loves company. You don't have to be a superhero to live. You could just be a regular person. Just a 9-to-5 regular person wanting to live your life. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. Or you could be I'm a casino Hollywood type Nevada, I want to run the world kind of person too. Or I want to live always and forever in New York. Or I want to be in California and whatever. Anything you want to do, you can put your mind to it. I'm not really going to talk about down south because who wants to live there, man? I mean, come on. The people that are in office that represent the South are horrible and they're racist and they're insane. So if you live down south, find a way to get out of there and move up north because just saying. But anyways, you don't have to be a Wonder Woman, and no one should make you feel like that, or Batman, or Captain America, or any of these superheroes. You don't have to do that, man. Be you, and don't apologize for it either. Be you unapologetically, meaning don't care what anybody has to say, and you shouldn't. Finally, on this wonderful Tuesday, we're going to talk about hockey or football. Hockey. Because football, I don't know, it's just kind of boring. And it's really entertaining, but come on, like the same thing, the same year. And half the teams are good and most of them suck. And I was really into football. And I really love the Cowboys. But the last couple years, I just feel like the Cowboys just have extensively gotten worse. And not only have they gotten worse, but they just, I don't know, they're not playing like really good. And a lot of these football teams are annoying. And they got all mad about the Black Lives Matter thing with the football players, and they fired some of them, and they wouldn't let people speak out about how they felt about sports. And then they did that with basketball, so now I hate basketball and I won't even watch it. I'm good. Done. No, but why? Just why? Hockey definitely. And I also like hockey because they get to check each other. They sort of push each other. It's really active and it's fun to watch it. I feel like in football, all they do is make calls. Don't get me wrong, they kind of do that in hockey too, but it's different, and they're on ice, so it's kind of cool. I don't know, what do you guys like? Do you like hockey better, or do you like football? If I'm going hockey, I'm a Rangers first and Toronto second. So that's the talk of the day, and we got to 18 minutes. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Born to be a Star. And in case you didn't know, you're a star. And the only way we can see in the darkness is with the light. And you are the light. And I see you. No matter what you're doing, no matter what time it is, no matter where you are in this big world we live in, I see you. And thank you for listening and being a part of this. Because the reason why we're all born to be a star, because we're all born to be anything we put our minds to. Our ability to be magnificent is only beginning. Recognize your brightness and your light. And no matter how difficult it can be, you can always do anything you try. Thank you for being a star. And I will see you tomorrow on the flip side of Tuesday, which is Wednesday. Hump day. See you tomorrow.